They said she was just a nerd, just a quiet human girl buried in lab notes and alien anatomy charts. But when a wounded dragon roared in pain, and everyone else backed away in fear, she stepped forward. What she pulled out wasn't just a nail, it was destiny. Tali had never been anyone's idea of a hero. She was short, wore oversized glasses, and had a bad habit of mumbling to herself while solving equations. Most people on the galactic outpost Vespera barely noticed her as she floated between labs, carrying data pads and muttering about bio-integrated nerve mesh and alien-scale regeneration. She liked it that way. Alone meant focused. Alone meant safe. Until the day they brought in the dragon. Officially, it was labeled Xenobeast 471b, a creature from the volcanic moons of Garros, too dangerous to handle without exo-armor and full tranquilizer teams. Unofficially, it was a dragon, 20 meters long, wings folded tight against a thick-scaled body, molten gold eyes that tracked everything with unnerving silence. Tali had only ever seen it once, briefly, through a containment window. She had, frozen there, heart hammering, because those eyes, they hadn't looked wild. They'd looked tired. So when the alert came, specimen in distress, all vet techs off base, bio-response team delayed. She almost didn't check. It wasn't her job. She was just a nerdy xenobiologist with a degree in exospecies cellular repair. But something in her chest pulled. Hard. She grabbed her medkit. When she reached the observation dome, 2 engineers stood outside the sealed chamber, both pale. "It's growling," one said. "Something's wrong with its paw." It tried to stand, then collapsed. Tali peeked through the reinforced glass. The dragon, no, the alien, lay breathing heavily. One massive front paw stretched forward. Blood, a dark violet hue, pooled beneath a cracked nail. A thick, jagged piece of starship paneling was embedded beneath the claw, wedged deep. Every time the creature shifted, it winced and growled. Not threatening, just hurting. Tali took a breath. "Open the door," the engineer blinked. "You're not cleared for close contact." "No time. Look at it. It's infected. That metal is corroded. If it gets into the bloodstream, you're just a biologist." "I'm also the only one here who studied Garossi biostructure and alien pain reflexes." The door hissed open. Tali stepped through slowly, heart in her throat. Her boots clicked against the metal floor. The dragon didn't move, but its eye rolled toward her, massive pupil narrowing. "Hi," she whispered as if greeting a wounded dog. "I'm not here to hurt you." She knelt, staying low, showing her hands. The air shimmered with heat near the beast's nostrils. The paw was enormous. The nail, cracked and pushed back into the flesh, pulsed with infection. She reached out slowly and touched the scale above the wound. The creature flinched, growled, a soft vibrating sound that rattled her bones. I know. Just give me a second." She opened the med kit and activated the numbing gel, pressing it around the base of the claw. The dragon twitched but didn't pull away. "You're doing good," she murmured. "Almost there." She waited 30 seconds. Then, gripping the shard with a sterilized tool, she pulled. The nail didn't budge. Tali cursed under her breath. She tightened her grip, leaned in, braced her knee. "Okay. 3, 2. She ripped. The claw came free with a sickening squelch. The dragon roared. Lights flickered. The walls shook. Tali dropped the tool, heart racing. The beast's head loomed, forward. Eyes locked on hers, nostrils flaring, heat rippling. She couldn't move. Then, it exhaled. Warm breath washed over her like a furnace sighing. And then, unbelievably, it nuzzled her. The side of its enormous head brushed gently against her shoulder. "I did not expect that," she breathed. The dragon blinked slowly, then laid its head on the ground beside her, as if inviting her to stay. She cleaned the wound, hands shaking. "No flinching," she whispered. "No growls. You're not what they say, are you?" The dragon rumbled softly. She left only when the engineers insisted, but she didn't sleep that night. Her mind replayed every moment, every flicker of pain, every second of trust. The next day she came back. The dragon, whom she'd started calling Ashen, from an old earth word meaning embers of trust, rose as soon as she entered. It didn't growl. It didn't flinch. It lowered its head beside her again. "You remember me?" A slow blink. She laughed softly. "You big lava toaster." She reached up, scratched behind its jagged horn ridge. The scales there shimmered with a faint pulse of light. The dragon gave a low, rhythmic hum, like a purr. Over the next week, Tali visited daily. Ashen refused care from anyone else. He didn't eat unless she was there, didn't move unless she gave a word. People started calling her the Dragon Whisperer, but to Ashen, she was something else entirely. One evening, she sat beside him as the stars glowed beyond the dome. His paw, now healing, rested beside her. She touched the scar where the metal had been. "You trusted me," she whispered. His head turned, a rumble deep in his chest. "You knew I'd help." Ashen blinked slowly. Then he spoke. Not with words, but with a pulse. Telepathic, sent along the strange bond formed in pain and care. "You removed more than the nail. You removed the hurt." Tali stared. You talked." I listened. "You heard. You stayed." Tears welled in her eyes. She'd come to patch a wound. Instead, she'd unlocked a soul, and just like that, a simple act of kindness changed everything. She came to remove a nail, and ended up bonded to a legend. If you felt the heat, the heart, and the hope in this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional HFY tales every week. Now tell me in the comments, what would you do if a 20-meter alien dragon looked into your soul and trusted you completely? Would you stay or run?